Good evening, and I'd like to call to order the City of West Bend Community TV Committee meeting for August 11th, 2020. We're doing mostly by WebEx, a couple of folks in City Hall at the moment. And I'd like to approve the minutes for May 6th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Entertain a motion.
I'd so move we approve.
Second. Hello.
Mark first, Warren second. Hi, Kyle.
Hello.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? That carries. Okay. We're moving on to discussion items. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Okay. Finance review. Is that something we can get up on here?
Yep, so I sent that out in the agenda packet. If it's helpful, I can plan to share my screen with that preferred. Let me just grab it here.
Would it work if I did this? Kidding.
We're just
You're
basically
really
going
desperate, I suppose. Yeah.
just pull it up here 1 second. I apologize for the wait.
Just in case anybody doesn't have it. Does everybody have the
Yeah.
financial statement in front of them?
Up on my phone. Yes.
Everybody's got it anyways.
Oh.
It's okay.
Okay, great. Oh, I've got it up here, so I may as well just throw it up on the screen.
Okay.
Gotta use our technology, right?
Might as well. Yeah.
All right, so this is a financial report as of just the other day. It's actually just slightly more than quarter 1 and 2. So it's as of 8/7, and I did that because I wanted to show that we have received some franchise fees through quarter 1 and 2 so far. So that would give you a little bit better picture compared with if we were looking at like through June 30th, it might look like we don't have very much revenue. So we're doing well. We're on track for what we've projected for the year to receive in terms of franchise fees. We've also found some new ways to get cable TV income. I mean, that's one of our goals this year and years moving forward is to be less reliant on our franchise fees. And so we'll talk about that a little bit more in length as John and I have our updates, but you can see that we had projected just $3,000 in potential revenues this year, and we're already surpassed 18,000. 12 of that 17,000 is used for a marketing campaign we'll chat about, but still, this is all new money and new initiatives that we're both taking on to try to broaden our revenue streams. So,
Fantastic. We're going to talk more about that.
Yeah,
those ways you're discussing.
More in detail when we give our updates.
Sure.
And then just basically our expense summary to date. We're actually looking pretty good with expenses and hoping to run low. We're trying to, if we don't have to spend money in outlay, then we won't. There was quite a large increase in our outlay expense because last July there was a project that was promised through the budget process, and I'm sure you guys know more about it than maybe I do since I wasn't here at that time, but it was for like $113,000 project for the police department servers. So that money was added to our expense, pulled out of our general fund to cover that capital expense. So right now we're currently in the process of planning 2021, and all the departments are exploring if there are any major projects. I, at this time, have not been alerted to anything planned of that scale for our department. And if that was the case, it probably would bite it, or at least try to figure out a way for us to jointly purchase it in some way, just so that we can really protect our fund moving forward, since, you know, there are a lot of uncertainties with long-term franchise fees and things like that. John and I are going to be having a conversation next week with our contact at Wisconsin Community Media to talk about franchise fees, other sources of funding, sort of the state of, you know, community TV media and in Wisconsin. So she's very involved at that higher up level. I think that'll help us plan for 2021. And we plan to present you with our proposed budget at our next meeting, so you can take a look and approve as we move forward. Do you have any questions on budget?
What time frame does this document cover?
So this covers from January until August 8th, 2020.
Okay, so it's 8 months, so it's a little over half a year. Okay.
It's a little over, right? I had planned to just do quarter 1 and 2, but since we received our franchise fees in the end of July, I wanted to reflect that here, so that, you know, our first 2 quarters of franchise fees were in here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, any other questions?
A little naive, but I guess.
Right. Well, we'll move right along then. So
Okay.
they are both going to give an update. So I guess before I jump into some numbers, just a few updates on things that are going on in our department. We are hiring, or we've been hiring for a full-time communications manager. And I'm pleased to say that as of tonight, I have a verbal acceptance of a new employee to be joining our team. We've interviewed several, and we feel really excited about this person's experience and what they're going to bring to the table. This person, I don't want to name yet, just since it's not done, and this is a public meeting, but this person has really strong writing skills, social media background, and lots of digital content, things like that. So she'll be able to kind of round out what we're doing with video and other communications activities on our team. So we're excited to finally have somebody joining the team. And in addition, since the last time we met, our team has continued to evolve a little bit. So in January, with the departure of Adam Gitter in the Economic Development Manager role, we added on the economic development activities to my role. So another reason I'm pleased to have another full-time person on our staff to sort of pass off some of the communications day-to-day activities. So there's that.
I have to excuse me for a phone call. I'll be right back.
You can just, I can mute. If you wouldn't mind muting, if you're able, if there's noise, feel free. Another update is that part of that revenue we were talking about earlier, the $17,000 that is planned to hit our budget, is part of a campaign that we presented to the Business Improvement District Board in May. So we had just presented it at our last meeting, and we were just kind of starting to kick off what this was going to look like. But John and I and Adam Gitter, before when he was here, we had presented a proposal to the bid to promote visiting downtown businesses and supporting businesses during this time. So we put together a 3-phased marketing plan that included 3 different videos that were going to be used as advertisements online. And we've been running this campaign, you know, virtually ever since May. So right away, we, you know, kind of got going with a right to your door video, showcasing sort of how downtown has quickly adjusted to have curbside delivery and all those personalized services that you care about downtown, but really safely. And then as things opened up again, we did another video that was sort of inviting the public a little bit farther out to come and visit downtown and do their business there, explore shops and restaurants. And now we're just getting into the 3rd and final phase of the campaign that will run through October, and we're planning to do a video that's sort of a night on the town, because a lot of the visuals you've seen, or we feel like maybe the public has seen of downtown West Bend, is kind of what there is to do during the day. There's the farmers market and there's shopping, and I feel like West Bend, downtown West Bend has a great nighttime atmosphere as well, with the theater and dining and the Riverwalk, and there's beautiful lights. So we're going to try to highlight that as well. So CTV is going to be taking home from the proposal $5,000 for administrating that campaign and doing the videos. So that's straight revenue. The $12,000 of that 17 is going to all sort of hard advertising costs. We're doing mainly social media advertising campaigns, Google ads through YouTube. So people are watching our videos on their televisions and tablets and phones. And then we're also working with Travel Wisconsin on several of their co-op advertising programs. So that's been really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome job bringing that to life, bringing the ideas to life. So I'm going to be happy to email you the videos if you're interested in seeing them. We did create a landing page on the City of West Bend website for downtown. We've also been acquiring leads through social media, so we're sending them email communications, inviting them to explore and plan their next visit. So, all right. So outside of that, I did put together the quarterly report, and I'll try to go through it quickly because you've had time to be able to see it, but I feel it's important that we get into this routine of tracking our metrics and making sure that we're hitting the goals that we set each year. And so far, I mean, I feel like the first half of this year has gone really well in terms of our videos and, you know, digital platforms. So Facebook has really, you know, solid incremental growth. I mean, we had 12,800 followers in January. Now we actually surpassed 15,000 in July. So that was pretty exciting. A couple of our, you know, highest engagement posts. One of them, I'm guessing you saw it because it seems about every person saw this video. I mean, 286,000 reach was the video of the Midnight Bagpiper that John did back in May. So that was like our top performing video and post on the Facebook page for Q2. And then we had several business of the months just really do well. They're all in an album on Facebook if you haven't seen them, and on our other platforms. But Hankerson's just did an awesome job, and people seem to really be engaged on there, leaving tons of comments about how they love that business. And it was really positive to see. Instagram has been growing, I would say, at a little bit higher pace than Facebook. And I think has a lot of potential. I'm excited to have this new person on who can be really creating some unique content for our Instagram account, and especially more photography, just so visual. And it is a little bit younger demographic. So, you know, these are the statistics for Instagram and a couple of our top posts. So you'll see on the left, it's a double rainbow from our movie night.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Yeah, I took that on my phone.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, sweet one on his drone that we actually have hung up here right behind him. It was kind of a magic night. So CTV partners with West Bend Parks and Rec every year to put on a movie in the park. And this year we decided to continue on that tradition, but utilize a drive-through format or drive-in. So it was still, it was awesome. It was safe for people to come. We had a fantastic turnout. We estimated over 100 vehicles. And we parked everybody in the soccer field and created a lot of social engagement by having people vote for the video they wanted, which was Frozen 2. And we also received sponsorship for the event, which made it free for all attendees. So with that being one of our most successful movie nights ever, we're going to offer another one this Friday. So this time it's not a cartoon, it's Hook, the 1991 classic with Robin Williams, and we're excited to have something different. And it's going to be the same drive-in setup, and we'll have Bank 59 as our presenting sponsor again, which is excellent. So we're pretty excited that this event's really kind of taking shape. And then the other post, I mean, this beautiful shot by John of the fireworks is amazing. You can see kind of on the bottom left is the History Center. So it was just a really special moment at another event that was sort of an unknown as we went into the summer, and so pleased that we were able to offer it in this way. So moving on, Twitter is actually doing pretty well. You know, we're not talking the same growth numbers, but we're hanging in there. Twitter is definitely not my forte. I would say Facebook and Instagram are the ones I'm most attuned to. So I'm hopeful that our new person will be able to bring some new life to our Twitter account, maybe some new content and a lot more engagement. So these are just some screenshots of our top performing posts. The Bagpiper is probably going to live on forever as one of the most amazing ones. And then LinkedIn as well. So most of LinkedIn is our job announcements, economic development, news, and then we did post the Downtown West Bend campaign there as well. So a little bit different content. We don't post on there nearly as much as we do with the others. The others we post at least every day, maybe more, depending on the platform. John, do you want to talk about VBIT?
Sure, yeah. So our video on demand site, VBIT, we saw a lot of views and participants, especially in two. As you guys can kind of see, the highest viewed individual one was the high school veterans tribute that is produced for us each year by Scott Mendel at the high school. We're happy to be a host as far as one of these videos go, as he updates it every year to kind of honor those that have served through the high schools throughout the inception of the high schools. But with that also came with a lot of live viewing for our online audience, especially those that wanted to kind of check in on the meetings during this difficult time. We had multiple meetings with 100 viewers just on our website alone for Common Council, for School Board, and for the Schuster Drive landfill update, which we were able to kind of partner. Just did an amazing job of kind of setting up a call and text line for people to call or text in their questions while they were watching our video live, so that they could watch it safely from the comfort of their own home, and we didn't have to bring people in here to City Hall for this big event. So that was probably our largest viewed live event, was the landfill one, and just being able to partner, like I said, with City Hall to kind of make that as easy and as seamless as it was for the public. It really turned out quite well. So we were very happy with with everything by the end of the day. So that was probably one of our biggest highlights in June, was being able to kind of pull that off.
Nice. That's awesome.
Sure, yeah. We also.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Justice. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Don't go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. So we had Hey West Bend as well. Every Sunday, we're still continuing with Hey West Bend. We've limited our guests, so we're not bringing in guests right now, but we're still just trying to find different ways to highlight the community through volunteers or virtual events is another thing that we're trying to kind of help encourage through this, to really just highlight still what's going on. It might just be a little different than what we're kind of normally accustomed to with the video, but it still seems to be getting pretty solid traction throughout the last few months. It really hasn't increased, decreased, I'd say, but it's been a steady flow, which has been kind of nice. And then Jess did a really awesome event with the West Bend Make Music Day, where she took different videos, went out and recorded different videos and posted 1 hour on our social media pages for the Make Music Day. And so each hour there was a different video of someone performing music. If it was one of the clerks here at City Hall, someone with the theater, the Music Academy helped us out a ton with different videos. It was just a great initiative and something kind of new that we haven't done before, but that she did an excellent job of kind of coordinating and just making it really shine on day where there wasn't able to be a lot of live music out and about. So, but we were still able to capitalize on that event. She did a great job. So, and kind of looking at YouTube as well with this new advertising campaign that we've picked up with the Business Improvement District. Our page has really seen a huge increase as far as audience, views, and subscribers. Our largest audience member right now is women ages 18 to 34, but we had multiple videos and multiple views just surpass everything that we've ever kind of seen from anything that we put on our YouTube page. So our YouTube page has grown leaps and bounds, I'd say, in these last few months as far as what we're looking at. A majority of our traffic still comes from links posted from Facebook, but also to our website as well. So people are finding us through the traditional methods, which is great. But those videos that we did for the bid were the driving force of what really drew a lot of attention, not only to our page, but also the other videos that we have posted there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No problem.
what, go ahead. I think it's great that you guys are keeping West Bend in touch with City Hall the way you are. It's fantastic. And I think the fact that we're focusing so strongly on social media right now is just super smart. It's obviously working. So, and I'm sorry.
We've gotten really positive feedback and a lot of engagement. I mean, that bid campaign itself, we've been running the video ads and display ads and other types of social ads. And people are literally asking questions about, where is that piece of salmon from? Where can I find this shop? What type of, they're asking tons of questions. And I feel like that is like such a performance indicator, and that they're engaged with it. We're engaging right back. I mean, we want them to have a response right away. And if they see a picture on there, they're wondering what shop that was taken in, I'm tagging it, like whatever we can do to really connect the dots with people, and also try to help drive a little bit of tourism, because that's an area right now that's in need. So at the end, we just have a slide or a page or so with some additional metrics. I mean, quarter two has been it feels like a broad quarter. I mean, starting in April, we were really, things were pretty quiet at City Hall. We were still open. We've been open this whole time, but it was pretty minimal traffic outside of the election. And we were really working through all the COVID-19 policy changes and just sort of the roller coaster that it has been, and trying to get out information to the public so that they were informed on everything. So, I mean, the drop-off yard opened and changed, and, every topic, every location, the library, there was information to get out and try to get it out clearly and always accurately. So we did a lot of press releases. We also did have some excellent news on the economic development front with Milwaukee Tool. And we recently announced a new, I guess that was just a few weeks ago, so maybe not quarter two, but another development in our TID 12, which is where the hotel's going up. There's going to be a multi-family apartment complex going in there. That's at market rate, so really nice apartments right along the Eisenman Trail and the river walk. So there's been a lot of news, a variety. We are still trying to keep most of the COVID-related information to the Department of Health Services and the Washington County Health Department, because they're the real experts in terms of health-related information. We don't have a health department at the City of West Bend. So we're trying to keep people headed there for that kind of stuff. But if they want to know what's going on at City Hall and what our policies are, we're happy to provide information there. With the election in April, there was a lot of training on virtual platforms with all of our new councilmen and women. Our new mayor also came on. Luckily, most of our aldermen are very tech savvy, and a lot of the people that we remote into our meetings are as well. So I felt like it went really smooth. Like, John did an awesome job getting the council chambers figured out and continuing to refine it as the meetings change. Things you would think that maybe now it might be a little bit simpler, but it's actually, I feel like, a little more complex, because some people are remote and some people are in person. instead of just a whole meeting remote or a whole meeting in person. And so there's been a lot of adjusting to how we're able to offer those and record and make it possible. So he's done an awesome job, and so has Tom and all of our production assistants who help out. Then these are just a few more stats on our Business of the Month videos. We continue to see a lot of engagement on these videos and really love highlighting a different business every month. So we're actually going to be filming their next one tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, Thursday. So for September. So those are just some statistics on the engagement, and the businesses really appreciate just the acknowledgement and recognition, and it seems like it helps kind of bring awareness to them as well. And just some general website tracking. We don't have a ton of website data for comparison's sake at this time, since the website is new since last year, and the analytics didn't get installed until February. So as we continue to use this site and plan to send people to specific landing pages, we'll be able to do a lot of tracking. I've been tracking the bid campaign to see how many people are going to our new downtown page, and it's like within the top 5 pages right now. So that's kind of exciting to see that it's performing so well, and it could really help us send people to other places on the site as we need to.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's it for the metrics and in my report. I don't know if you have any questions for me before John jumps in.
It's really nice to see such a positive trend on all these different social platforms.
Yeah, it is.
You guys are just doing phenomenal. It's really, it's
well, thank
fantastic. You. Yeah, for sure.
Good team. We're excited that our team is expanding.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll take some pressure off.
We'll be able to do more.
Awesome.
No.
The high school graduations also were awesome. That was a whole different way.
Yeah.
We got a shout out to John on that. That was great.
Absolutely. Well, I think he's going to talk about them a little bit. So.
The graduations were great. I really have to commend the West Bend High School IT team for really setting us up quite well, where we didn't really have to worry about too much other than kind of getting there and getting our stuff in place. I'll kind of touch on it a little bit, but we broadcasted live the East and West graduations in the beginning of July from the football field, which was different for us. But they had everything kind of all situated and, like I said, set up where we didn't really have to worry about too much. And it was a smooth operation, which was great. Going along with graduations, we were hired out this year to do Kewaskum's graduation in later July as well. So that was another situation where we got to do graduation and we're had additional revenue coming in to kind of perform that task, which was something that we kind of wanted to continue that trend. So being that we had such success with the East and West graduations, it seemed like a no-brainer to do Kewaskum's, and they were just as accommodating as far as making sure that we were in a good spot to do our job, where we didn't really have to worry about too much on the back end, which was great to see. And with that information and stuff, depending on how everything goes with fall and everything like that, now we have the capability to broadcast live out from the football field, which also means we'll be having the opportunity to hopefully do some live football games again, which is something that we're kind of looking into. It's obviously very much up in the air right now as far as what we're going to be anticipating come fall. But this was an idea that we had in place before all this kind of took place. So we are getting our staff trained and kind of ready to do that, where we'll be able to get it on cable and YouTube this year to kind of help out the community. So if everything goes well, that's something that we're looking at down the road for this upcoming fall. But to give you guys a little bit of an update about everything, I'll kind of go briefly over my stuff. Castus, which is our new system, the equipment was partially installed in May. Everything was kind of set up and ready. The only thing that they were waiting on is for me to go through training with the new interface and everything like that before they switched everything over from our old equipment onto our new ones. They wanted to make sure that we were extremely comfortable using the system before, instead of just kind of throwing us in, which is great. So we have gone through the training, everything like that. The system's going well. We had to work out a few kinks as far as firewall issues, and there's a few software things that needed to be kind of taken care of. So we were originally anticipating having the full switchover this August. So it's being delayed a little bit until we can get out our tech scheduled back out here to do a the full installation and take us off the old system that we have and putting us fully on the new system. So everything's looking good. We've been running kind of mock schedules on the new system to mirror what we're broadcasting out right now, just to make sure that all of our programs are kind of where they need to be and is audio and visual. And right now we're kind of in the mode of customizing the channels a little bit more to make them feel a little bit more at home. We've also done a few test records on the new system as well. So when we have council meetings and stuff like that, not only are we recording on the old system and how we normally do it, but we've done a few test records on this system just to make sure that it's kind of going through with those inputs and everything. So everything's in a really good spot. Like I said, we just have to wait for scheduling to get our technician out here to kind of finish up the job that was done. So I'm still anticipating that we'll have everything switched over by September. So when we do potentially some more live events in the fall, it'll all be kind of streamlined as far as what we're working with. So that's a kind of a really good situation that we're in right now. We started pulling out some of the old equipment that was not being used in the back or that we plan to sell. We're just creating piles right now kind of in the back room as far as what is going to be e-cycled and what is going to be potentially sold. So we're going to be kind of looking at that more extensively, not only with the back stuff, but kind of our department as a whole to kind of take an opportunity to do a little bit of spring cleaning with some of our equipment and everything like that as far as what hasn't been used and maybe what we can kind of sell for upgraded equipment. Not everything, because as you guys have known with all of these meetings and everything like that, we've definitely had to go back into the closet and pull out all of the equipment we can to make sure that we have all of the mics and boards and everything for all of these different meetings. So I'm not saying that we're getting rid of all the equipment, because we've definitely had to use a lot of older equipment to ensure all the broadcasting needs for these different situations that we're in. As Warren said, we were out on a football field before. We've been out at parks. We've been almost anywhere and everywhere to kind of broadcast these events and meetings from a different perspective. So we've really been relying on all the equipment that we kind of have here to ensure that we can still do the best production that we can. I mean, that being said, everything's kind of a testing phase right now with the production assistants and myself as we try and customize each meeting and each event to everybody's needs as far as audio and visual. So it's been kind of nice to have the assistance on that end. But like I said, in the same sense, we are really reliant on the equipment that we have here as far as older equipment that might not have been touched in a while, being able to kind of look at that and utilize it still, which has been nice. So that kind of brings me on to my next point of our broadcasts and everything like that. As I talked about, we've been really it's been a journey through these times of figuring out through virtual and in-person virtual and in-person virtual outside and in-person virtual some inside, some outside and everything like that. So it has been every meeting is a different kind of adventure. So it's one of those things where we've kind of I think we finally found our groove a little bit as far as what we're going to be anticipating for the next few months. We didn't really anticipate being here as far as still doing these virtual meetings and kind of half and half and everything like that, but it's where we're at. So it's kind of nice that we've finally found a comfortable situation as far as broadcast goes and needs, so we can kind of move forward with that. Granted, that being said, I'm sure this will all change on Monday and we'll have to rewrite our plan and go from there. So, but that's what we're used to. That's what we've been getting adjusted to. So with the install as well with Castus, one of the things good that came out of Castus is our AT&T encoders. We were able to kind of boot those back up. We've been having issues with them for a very long time, longer than I've been here, but we were able to kind of get them running and everything like that. The unfortunate news is that they were old encoders and susceptible to viruses. And sure enough, we got one on July 4th. So those that were quickly booted back up in May died out in July. So we are currently looking right now to replace the encoders to have those installed when our CASTIS unit is switched over. So it's all at the same time is what we're kind of anticipating. So we're looking at quotes right now and kind of getting some different ideas. We've been leaning on different members of the Wisconsin community media to try and get some ideas of what they use in their studios, just so we have a good idea of what we need to look for. Being that they're AT&T encoders doesn't really help us out, as well as AT&T has very specific specs that they need to kind of broadcast everything out. So it's a very limited pool that we're going to get to look through, but unfortunately, it's just one of those situations where we had something kind of die on us a little bit unexpectedly. So, but we will be replacing those and hopefully for a situation where we won't have to kind of worry about it for a while, which would be kind of nice. So that'll be great for our customers, because I know a lot of people have been reaching out to us, and Tom, who does our meetings, always has one person come up to him and check in with him about the AT&T, and he finally got a thumbs up from the guy, so that was really nice. So it was good to see. But so we're hoping to kind of do all of that all at once, as far as the full CASTIS switch over and then replacing the encoders for AT&T. So our back room would be in top-notch condition for a good couple of years is what we're hoping for. And Jeff kind of touched on this a little bit, but the additional revenue that we brought in has far exceeded what we kind of anticipated with this budget year. That goes with the bid that we kind of brought in with the advertising, but also with the graduations that we did with Kewaskum, the DVD sales from East and West. We almost totaled up $3,000 just from graduations this year, which was our target goal just for the year. So, and one thing as well, and this is also some other good news that came out today, but it's for a next meeting, I suppose. But we are also contracted out with the West Bend Theater Company to put on a production of A Christmas Carol this year for a virtual event. So we're going to be spending a lot of time watching Hamilton on Disney Plus and taking notes and making sure that we do something very similar to that. I'm sure it'll be all the same. It's another instance where we're getting paid for that event, so it's more additional revenue that's going to be coming in. So there's going to be some great news along with that as well that is going to be coming down the pipe for us from a cable standpoint, which is nice. And once we can share that with you, we certainly will. But I know the theater was excited to announce that that we're going to be partnering with them to kind of provide this virtual event, since they're not sure if they're going to be able to hold audiences for their annual event, and that's something that we're very happy to kind of partner with. So it's going to be a good project. I'm really excited to start this presentation. We've already got our shoot date set and everything like that. So that's something that we'll be able to look forward to come November and December. So that's what I have for you guys. So thank you very much for your time.
That's awesome. Thanks, John. Any questions?
Sorry.
Any items for discussion?
Cool.
Okay. We want to move on to confirming the meeting dates. Or do you have other stuff you want to talk about yet, Jess?
I don't. No.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a simpler meeting tonight. I think, next meeting we'll go through some budget and the 2021 budget and present that to you. So that'll be kind of the main topic there. But we did set some dates for the year at our first meeting.
I'm sure we did.
Or maybe my first meeting. I don't know if it was all ours. So we set our next date to be Wednesday, November 11th. So we moved it out a week because the election is on the 3rd.
Okay.
I'm not sure why we moved out a full week. But anyway, that is what our plan was. It was for 6 p.m. on Wednesday, November 11th. Does that work for you?
Yes.
Works for me. Do that. Everybody's good? Nice. Okay.
I think unless something dramatically changes, I think we should just plan to do it WebEx unless you prefer not to. Seems like it's been working okay for our team. We're all, techie people. So we can just plan on it. It might just make it easier as we go into the final meeting for the year. And then I would,
To that.
No.
great. And then I propose that we then in November set our 2021 dates. So
Great.
Okay.
Great. That sounds good. Well, it might have been a simple meeting, but boy, you guys really seem like you're busy. It's fantastic. Yeah. Is there any other questions to wrap up? Everybody's good? All right, then. Meeting's adjourned.
well, thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
Hope you're all well.
Have a good one. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.